Upgrade Academy now is in the loop.
Yeah.
Thank you for waiting to give you the floor. And just the warm-up question, how Upgrade Academy started?
It started when I quit my job in trading, and I think working in trading for a long time, I really came to see an appreciation for the intrinsic, motivation you get when you see the impact that you do. And that's how I decided to do education. And then university life was one of the best periods of my life. For me, it was quite transformative. And so I thought, why not start there and try to offer students, the opportunity to go to a university that will change the way they think and the way they interact and the way they behave in society. So that's basically how it came to be. And I came to Bucharest. We started with almost no investment, and there's been a lot of passion and a lot of work, and here we are now.
Here we are also with sharing the screen and start pitching.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm inviting the audience, the potential investors, to start asking questions also for you, Tinu, whenever they feel they have one.
Absolutely. You can interrupt if you want, but let's get into it. So we're Upgrade Academy.
We are passing to the Q&A, but they can ask whenever they want, but the Q&A is after.
Yeah,
pitch.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So we're Upgrade Academy, and as I said, the problem we're trying to solve is that 70% of students that apply to university don't get in, and that's because selective universities, the admission is very competitive, and the process is daunting. You don't really have all the information, and you need to be quite motivated for a long period of time and have the appropriate development for a long time. So the current solutions are not efficient enough, because the way it's addressed right now, school counselors are understaffed. There's one school counselor per 800 students on average. Then the education agents have a conflict of interest because they recruit students for universities that pay them commission. And so they don't necessarily work in the favor of the student, trying to get that student to the best university they can get. Then there's the internet that offers a lot of information, but it's super generalized, and it's very difficult to know what's true and what's not, and what works for you and what not. And then there are individual consultants who do this type of work, but it's hard for them to scale. And they also cannot address all of the process needs, right? They can address some of them, but not a comprehensive all-in-one solution. So that's where we come with a disruptive solution. On the one hand, we have top university graduates teach, and this gives the process a personal touch, and it motivates the students to stand out. And on the same time, we have a platform that offers gamified content, which increases the efficiency of the student mentor time, right? Because general concepts can be explained, in short videos and things like that. And so you use the time with your mentor to the max. So this hybrid method of delivery for our service makes it the most efficient and the best in terms of results and outcomes as well. So the process, as I said, is long with us. We go over 2.5 years of work with students. We start with figuring out what it is that you want to study. Then once you know that, how do we build a set of experiences that will make you, really understand that field and more likely to be admitted? So you can, learn, you can get a psychology course, you can work with the mentor one-on-one to write a paper in psychology. That will make you much more, likely to be admitted. After that, you can build an extracurricular project around psychology. You can, organize a conference that raises awareness about kids with autism or things like that. And so that strengthens your profile. And so when you come to the admission consulting, in the end, you already have very valuable experience that have been taught to you by really exquisite mentors, which make you more likely in the admission process. So we're leaders in the current market in Romania. We had 10% market share last year. We have 20% market share already this year. And we're looking to expand into Europe. A reason for that is that the average lifetime value that we see in Western Europe is much higher, because the opportunity, the appetite for this sort of services is much higher. So whereas in Romania, we get on average 2,000 euros lifetime value, in Europe, we've had historically 6K. And to do that, we've actually hired the person who ran international expansion for Crimson Education, which is our biggest competitor and is valued at 400 million right now. So The way we approach this expansion is in two dimensions. One of them is geographic. So we want to expand to more countries, but also in terms of our range of products, we land and expand. And so right now we're running beyond the flagship university admission process. We're running experiments and pilots with like career orientation and then job orientation and training. So we help you get like an internship or a job afterwards, and even graduate admissions if you want to do an MBA and so on. So we're looking to expand on these two axes. Both of them will increase the total addressable market. And so our USP when we go to these places is pretty clear. We have the best mentors and we have the best technology. Our mentors are all graduates of top schools in abroad, including Harvard, Cambridge, Princeton, etc. And the technology is there such that it offers the content efficiently, so you can make the most of that time. It also increases operational efficiency for us. So the way we acquire these customers now, we mainly do them through online events. So we target students on Instagram, then we organize these huge events where we offer a lot of value regarding the admission process. So we can have, the University of Cambridge attend, the University of Oxford, the University of Amsterdam has attended, a lot of good schools. And on top of that, we have master classes with upgrade mentors that teach you how to tackle university admissions in COVID, or how to write a statement, or how to develop extracurricularly. And by offering so much value for free, people understand the value that we're creating, and they understand the need, and so they sign up and become sales qualified leads. And in the selling process, it's mandatory for them to bring the parent. So in this way, we get to the parent as well, which is the economic buyer, through the cost of targeting student, which is much lower. These are some of the events that we've thrown to date, and you can see the last one had close to 2,000 participants. It had like really good name schools attend, and we've managed to secure over 30k euros in international contracts on top of the Romanian ones from that one, and we're continuing to organize these in the future. You might think that this business relies a lot on mentor quality, and we're aware of that, which is why the fact that we do such a good job with the product delivery ensures that the best students that we train can come back and teach, because they've already been trained by working with us. And so we select the very best who come back to teach. And this allows us to be very scalable, because if we have 100 students, then 15 will come back to teach. But if we have 1,000 students, then 150 will come back to teach. So we get a supply of mentors that equals the rising demand, which is great. So at current time, half of our mentors are former students, including a full-time person as well. So it's just a virtuous circle of doing a good job with these students and then having them, come back and do work with us. In terms of results, right? This is a graph of how the admission rate compares from upgrade to the normal rate. You can see that our students are between 2 to 3 times more likely to be admitted than the standard rate. And a lot of that is attributed to the value that we add, as you can see in Alex's testimonial. Delivering such a great product has, allowed us to grow relatively quickly and acceleratedly. So as I said, we started with almost nothing. The initial investment was just the money I had to sustain myself when I came back, and I started tutoring, just myself with a few students. And from those beginnings, we're now looking at 45,000 euros monthly recurring revenue. We're looking at 134% growth over the last 4 years. So things are looking really good from a growth and revenue perspective. And we're a proven business. We grossed 300,000 euros in 2020. We were profitable because we bootstrapped. We had 18% margin. We're now raking in 45k. We've done this with a lot of students, and something that I'm very proud of is our NPS, which extends around 70, whereas the competition NPS is around 20. So the delivery of our service is much better. And we have the team to help this company grow in the future. So myself, I graduated from Harvard. I worked in finance for Morgan Stanley, and then Whoop in tech, and then entrepreneurship. I graduated for an MBA from Quantic, and I love doing what I do, obviously. Kami graduated from Cambridge. She was top of her class. She's handling product, very driven, very focused on education, and has been, she's the one who piloted all of these new products that we have right now. Edith is the brain behind the digital client acquisition campaign, which allowed us to grow acceleratedly. Alex is an amazing person. He dropped out of Minerva. So if you can imagine, we actually have our first dropout that joined Upgrade full time. He was a former student. He also founded Prepi before, which was one of the fastest growing Romanian EdTech startups. So he's the head of engineering. And as I said, Karina, she was MD and expansion manager from Crimson Education. She's now working with us as business development to help us expand into new markets. We also have amazing advisors, which we've put together during our Supercharger Accelerator that was based in London. So we have Juan Linares, who is a Series B EdTech founder in London. We have Alexander Tesla, who's head of finance at WeWork in Berlin, and John Capolupo, who is the co-founder of a tech unicorn called Whoop in the US. And we also have an incredible network of mentors who do an incredible job of teaching students. All of them are graduates of good schools. All of them have a passion for education, and some of them are former students, as I said. So we've had some recognition. We published a book with Publica. You can actually find it in libraries. Really good book for like getting the initial assessment of the admission process. We've been selected in the top 10 for Supercharger Ventures, as I said, and we've graduated from the accelerator. And we're looking at solid growth ahead. We're looking to triple this year, and then the following year, and then double after that. And this, if you check out the financial documents, this is based on historically proven assumptions of 3.3K per year lifetime value and $800 cost of acquisition, and the assumption that we can get that down to 600 and 400 in the next 2 years. What we're looking for right now is 350K. Part of it is to continue to grow our platform. So the technology, delivering the technology is like the expensive part that we want to fix. Then the go-to-market as we expand internationally, and part of it will go to hiring more strategists for the growth that's going to come. And to date, we've already secured 250K from reputable investors. We have the co-founders of Whoop, as I said, who also join our board. We have other angels in Romania and abroad. We have co-founder zone in Poland, which is also helping us with the soft landing in Poland. We have Grouport in Czech Republic, who's doing the same, and then Bosînceanu in Romania. And we're looking to finish the round with your help. So happy to answer any questions you might have.
Great, thank you, Tinu. I think we have now the good time for starting the Q&A. Yeah, I'm inviting you to use the Q&A module for the questions for Upgrade Academy, but I will start with one, actually with two, until we have the questions from the audience. One was coming in before for Labbox, and if you can share your view, if you see any exit potential, and how do you see that path?
There's exit potentials with the companies. The bigger companies like Crimson were acquiring, this sort of company, this sort of type of company all over Europe and wherever they want to expand. And we're in a place where they're not yet at. But the dream would be to take this company like very far and like all the way to IPO, and hopefully we can achieve that dream.
Okay, and I think there are some more. It will be useful, some more details about the path that a student is following with the platform. What are the steps?
Sure. So the way we address the needs is first of all, say you come to us, you come in like 10th grade, and you don't know exactly what it is that you want to study or where you want to study. So we have a career orientation step where you learn about all of the opportunities, you learn about yourself, and the goal of that is to know where you want to study and what would be a best fit academic program for you. So after we know that, we know what the requirements for that steps are. So we put together a development phase. So now you want to do psychology in the US. So now in order to get there, you have to have pretty good knowledge of psychology. So one thing you could do is embark on a research project with a mentor that has graduated from a top university in psychology. And so you can explore one of these academic interests and create a research paper. And also you can put together an extracurricular plan, right, that has to do with psychology. And after you've done this, you've completed the development phase as well. Then we go into the admission phase, which is okay, now that you know the goals and you've done everything that you need to prepare academically and extracurricularly for the task, we select the schools and we work with you to position yourself in this process, to write the best essays, to understand how to optimize your recommendations, and all of the administrative part of the process until you're like there, including, and I think this is like actually the most important, the introspection to realize how to present yourself, which is a skill that you can take later on in life, and also the emotional support. So this process is relatively stressful for students, and having someone that's there, as a relatable person who's also a mentor, but also a friend, really, really helps. So I think that's pretty much what we're doing. And what we're piloting right now is to extend this offering into university coaching. So helping students make the most out of their first year, because they're internationals, they're just landing in a new country. I made a lot of mistakes when I got there. So it's always good to be able to offer that help, and then to you help people getting a job and internships, which is something that is in the end the goal of finding a successful career.
There are questions. One is got via chat, but I will take it directly from there. What about the support for accommodation during the first year of study? Is that
that's
in your package?
Yeah. We did not do accommodation. Because we were focusing on the academic development that increases the chances. But it's like an add-on that we might add to the pack. It's also something that we've learned. It really depends on the country. So in Holland, Mircea is actually like a former like client, so he's teasing me about that. In Holland, the accommodation is very difficult to find, and so over there, being able to help with that is more important than maybe some of the academic stuff. So learning that, we try to incorporate in our offering.
There's a question about your CTO that you're mentioning. He used to work with Preppy. And that's a startup. It seems someone is commenting having just a very insignificant turnover. I don't know if it's if you want to make any comments on that.
I can comment on that. So Preppy was an amazing startup. It was funded by people who were like, at that time they were in high school, and it was like one of the fastest growing startups in Romania in terms of users. They just had a difficult time monetizing it. So it was offering math training for people for the baccalaureate, and they were growing incredibly fast. And then when they tried to monetize it, it didn't go as planned. But the platform's still there, and it's helping people, and it's beautiful technology. It's just like difficult to monetize.
Okay, but and he's the CTO, so
he's the CTO, so it has nothing to do with monetization. It's just everything to do with building a beautiful product, which you can try. You can go and like look at Preppy and see how it's going. It's actually a useful tool for the baccalaureate.
Another question: you make the assumption that students who were admitted working with you after graduation will be mentors for upgrade. You see no risk here?
I don't see a risk here, and it's not an assumption. It's proven. Like half of our mentors to date are former students. I don't see any risk. I think it's like the most beautiful thing in the world, because that means they liked our collaboration. That means they get to experience our method of teaching firsthand, so that now they can apply it themselves. So I just think it's like a very, very virtuous circle that happens because we deliver a good product, and these people, are happy with it, and they come back to do the same. I think it's just the benefits of having a very close community.
And sharing their experience with the ones to follow their.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, but maybe there's a specific risk. The one that was questioning to mention here, what kind of risk, and maybe you'll have a more concrete answer to that. I was just waiting for any comment if it's the case from the one that was questioning that. How do you, if you can provide more details about how do you plan the concrete plan to extend the product for a larger market outside Romania?
Yeah. So the expansion is gonna be twofold. So, for example, we've already started expanding hardcore into Russia. We've hired a country manager in Russia, Sofia, who has put together the buyer personas and everything, and we're organizing an event in late October there. It's the way we have a playbook, the same playbook we've done in Romania. We've also recruited advisors in the country that we're going. So Alexander Tesla, and Vasily Aman, who's also advising us, are both from Russia. So we have basically advisors and then a country manager, and then we, do our digital client acquisition, aided by, other things that are market specific, that can include press, influencer marketing, and live events. But all of these things vary from country to country. And, we're doing the same with Poland, because we're going through an accelerator that Co-founder Zone put us in touch with, that offers companies that extend to Poland the soft landing. They helped us with recruiting the country manager and with setting up office, actually, and with any help from mentors for that endeavor as well. And so that's how we take countries step by step. We have a playbook that works, but we're adapting it to any country given like what the market specifics are in every country.
Okay. If you can provide more details about how your advisors are paid, the model per hour, or
no, all our advisors are equity based. They're equity based. They have certain milestones that they have to reach. One of them is helping us get like our next round of over 1 million. One of them is like into successful expansion, quality of investor, etc. So we're working on milestones and equity vesting schemes for advisors. None of them is paid in cash yet.
Okay, and maybe it was referring or not to also to the mentors.
Yeah, definitely. Mentors are getting paid anywhere between 25 and 45% of the revenue that we get. Of course, everyone is being paid.
25%.
Between 25 and 45, depending on experience and level of commitment and how much time they put with us.
Okay. And there is a question also coming from me that is referring to the extension and the current round. What kind of investors are you looking for? How, besides the financial investment, how do you see if they can help you with other things in your expansion or in your business model?
Definitely. So the only thing that I think we value a lot is investors that believe in this project and then want to be with us for the long term. So we're like all very passionate here, and we're like we see the vision for the future as being very bright, and we want people who are on board with that. And of course we're meeting with all the investors like once a month, and we're taking feedback, and we've had a great collaboration with investors to date. So that's actually how we got this like accelerators and so on. So we welcome all of the feedback that comes from people that have connections and know-how and more experience than we do. Of course, the only thing that we want is like for investors to also be committed to like the long term and not think very short term. That's the only thing.
Okay, some additional comments regarding the question with the mentors. It was referring to the mentors. So the company keeps up to 75% after paying them.
Yes, but that is like very high standard. So you make it sound like it's little, but it's actually not. That's the standard in the industry, because we take care of the marketing and sales process of mentor training and also customer service and support. So the mentor in our business model is only doing the teaching, and then when parents panic and they start calling, it's us who troubleshoot. When someone needs to create the strategy for the students, that's what we like do internally. So you can think about it as If a person has the tutor only does the hour of work and that's it, and they do it on a curriculum that's developed by us, and the customer service is delivered by us, and oversight of the students' development is delivered by us, and the tech platform has been built by us. So like all of these things, like it's not necessarily, they don't have any responsibility. So it's not like in the marketplace business model where all of the responsibility of your work is like on you. This is like we have all the responsibility, and all you do is the teaching, and we have to train you, and we have to deliver, and we have to talk to the people. So it's like a reverse business model. So in that sense, we're actually like some of the highest paying people out there, which allows us to continue to grow the network base. Otherwise they would go to competitors, right, if we pay them little. And up to like you say, up to that's like a very like up to, right, like it's an up to, it's not that, it's like anywhere in between that.
Okay, and I think yeah, it's common, clear, and fair about your answer, and we are right on time for bringing you.
The average cost for the parent. So our programs are anywhere between, I would say, on average, between 1,000 and 2,000 euros per year for the parent.
Okay. So we are right on time for again, thanking you again. Thank you, Tinu, for your for the pitching, and also for the clear information provided to the questions. And I'm asking you just before making the small survey that we anticipated. I'm asking you, both of you, the same questions, and also asking you that was asked to other founders that have been present to meet the founders before. So if you can put yourself in the shoes of an investor, private investor, and if you can exclude yourself as a founder from that thinking, what are the main two arguments for you as an investor to join the story of first Labbox and then Tinu for Upgrade Academy? So I'm coming back to you, Arta, again. If you can say in a very few words the main two arguments for an investor to join Labbox right now.
My first argument, as putting myself in the shoes of an investor, is that Labbox has great unit economics that potentially give a huge multiple return on your investment. I'm combining things also with our scaling potential. The experience that we design with each box, after it's designed and confirmed with the testing, it's a matter of production, and production can be scaled quickly considering the type of materials we use and put into the boxes. Having said that, my second argument is I would really love to have investors that understand our mission and are here to support us on trying to open up the world of engineering for kids, because I really believe that that's an important aspect of their development, especially as we're tackling the future problems of the world in general.
Thank you, Arta. Thank you again.
Thank you.
And again, Tinu,
Yeah,
it's your
turn.
For the same question, your two main arguments.
The first is traction. Like, I think I'm actually very happy about the shape of the graph. You know, it actually looks like the hockey stick graph. So there's like that traction that, you know, I would rest very easy as an investor seeing that hockey stick. And the second, it's maybe two things, like team and NPS, right? That the team is, you've never seen people working as hard. Like the team is like all students that came back to Romania, you know, former like international students came back to Romania, very, very like happy to share this, very, very passionate about the work that they do. And if you come and visit the office, you'll see that. And that in turn creates this, I think, high NPS, which we're very proud of. You know, it's like a good product, and it's backed by a team that really believes it can make it better. And so I think, you know, in the long run, this is like bound to be successful.
Great. I'm very happy to have you. I was very happy to have you special guests at Meet the Founders, and I felt that besides the EdTech vertical that's uniting you, I think the passion that you are talking about about your startup and what you are doing probably is coming also from your mission and from your profile. But I was very happy to be part of this panel along with you, and thank you for that. And we are making a small survey with anonymous answer if the audience would invest in Labbox, yes or no, and in Upgrade Academy, yes or no. But of course, the real life is there, and I'm just sharing here that tomorrow morning Upgrade Academy is starting the public campaign with Seedblink, and Labbox is starting on Thursday morning, 10 Romanian time. So I wish you, both of you, best of luck, and of course the investors to take the an inspired decision, and of course they can ask additional questions whenever they feel, both on the platform or to get in contact directly with Arta or Tinu. So thank you again for being part of. Thank you, Tinu. Thank you, Arta, and see you on Seedblink live campaign.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.